Hi guys, this is Christy Fulk with Create with Christy. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the US. Well, today I'm back with another alternative card for my April monthly card club. It's an online card club and it is subscription based, and I'll give you some more information here in a minute. But I want to show you my first alternative. I'm using a stamp set that is retiring, a bundle, so I want to make sure I'll show you all that. But this one is a thank you card, and if you want to make it along with me, just look down in the video description below and click on the blog post link, and there you'll find the supply list and the paper dimensions you need to make this card. So let's go ahead and get started. But first off, I want to show you everything that comes in the card club kit. Okay, first off, I want to show you everything that comes in my April kit. First off, you get the card kits here. I do the embossing and the die cutting and the punching for you. The only thing I don't die cut are the stamped images. Those you have to fussy cut out for yourself if you don't own the bundle or own a die cutting machine. So those are the card kits to make 2 of each. You also get a full pack of the gold and silver trim combo. This is part of the online exclusive, so you do get a full roll of the silver and the gold trim. You'll also get a full pack of the brushed brass butterflies. I love how these have large and small ones. You get the full pack, and these are in the annual catalog, and they're staying. They're going to be in the new annual catalog also. And then you're also going to get a half pack of the Vellum Basic Specialty Designer Series paper. This is in the January to April catalog right now. It's also going to be in the new annual catalog coming up. Now, I love this Vellum so much that I can't show you a full half pack. You get the half pack. They're going to be 6 by 12 sheets. There are 3 designs. You get 2 of each. I'm going to grab a piece of dark cardstock here. That way you can see the print a lot better. So this is an actual 6 by 12. So this is how big it'll be. So you get 6 sheets, 2 of each design. That's the striped version. Then here's the polka dot version. And this makes me remember a video I did. I show how to color this cardstock, and I turned them into flowers. So with the punch. So what you can do, I'm going to have the video link pop up at the top. Or if you want to just keep watching this video, then I've also got it down in the video description. You can click on that when you're ready to watch it and learn how to color this vellum. It's really easy. So there's the polka dot, and here's the pretty leaf one. But it says something when that is all I have left of the pack to show you, except for some scraps. But like I said, you will get 2 each of these designs in that 6 by 12 size. That's everything you get for $39.50 a month. The subscription is handled through PayPal. You do not have to have a PayPal account to subscribe, though. You can also do it. I think they say subscribe as a guest. You don't have to sign in. If you do have an account, do sign in, and then you can subscribe. And PayPal will charge your card every month on the day that you sign up. So say you sign up on the 5th of the month. Every 5th of the month, they will charge your card for your subscription, and you can cancel any time. But if you stay on for at least 6 months, you will get a $25 bonus pack from me. And for every continuous 6 months, say you quit in the middle of 6 months, well, if you come back, that 6 months will start all over again. But 6 consecutive months, every 6 months, you'll get a $25 bonus kit. Okay. And the first one, I pick out the stuff for you because it's the basics that you need. But after that, say your second 6 months, you get to pick out up to $25 worth of product. And I almost forgot, you have the option to add on just the stamp set, which is Dainty Delight this month, or the bundle, which includes the dies. And you only pay the actual price that's in the catalog. I pay the shipping and tax for you. So what you do every month, if you want it, then you fill out my little form. It just takes a few seconds to fill it out. And then I will send you a PayPal invoice for you to pay the additional for the stamp set or the bundle. And I will just send an email every month. You always have the option to buy this or not. You don't have to. But this is in addition to the $39.50. So make sure to get all the information, make sure you click on that Card Club page link below in the video description, and you'll find everything out there. If you have any questions, just comment below, or you can click that Contact Me link too and contact me that way. Okay, let's go ahead and get started with the alternative card. Okay, first off, I want to show you the bundle. This is the Blessings of Home bundle. Everything is retiring, the stamp set, the dies, and the bundle price. So you want to make sure you get this right away. As I'm making this, it was still available. Hopefully it still will be when it airs. If it doesn't, I'll let you know. But I've always loved this bundle. I'm really sad to see it go. But I want to show you what stamps I'm using. This is the stamp, the flowers I'm using, the small one here. And I'm going to use the Thank You for Inspiring Me. And I'm only going to be using this die this time around. This will be die cutting this image out for me. And once again, I'm using the Scallop Contours dies like I did in the alternative. And I'm going to be using the second smallest one here. Mine's already die cut since I'm using the supplies in my kit. That's what my alternatives are. I forgot to explain that. I use what comes in the card kits and club and show you how to use a different stamp set to make it. So here's this, it's just nice alternative card. So that's the die I used with this one. And then I also embossed a piece. This is a Pretty Flowers embossing folder. This one is retiring as well. It is so pretty, and you'll get to see what it looks like here in just a minute in the cardstock. But if you want this, make sure you get it real quick before it sells out. So it's available while supplies last or until May 1st, whichever comes first. Okay, first off, we're going to get some stamping done. This is a piece of basic white that's 2 3/4 by 4. Now, in your pack, you will get a half sheet of paper. That way, if you use another stamp set, you'll have plenty of cardstock to do your stamped images. But this one, to work with this stamp set, is 2 3/4 by 4 inches. Now, I'm going to grab that floral image from this Blessings of Home stamp set. Using my Tuxedo Black Memento, I'm twisting it to get it to ink up. It inks up a lot better if you twist, and then I'll kind of stamp on it a little bit too, so I don't have any twist lines in the stamp. And I'm just going to stamp this. Doesn't matter if it's right in the middle because we're going to be die cutting this out. But there we go. So you've got that pretty image. Isn't that? I just love that. It is so pretty. That's why I'm going to miss this stamp set. And I'm also going to grab a piece. This was die cut out of a piece that was 3 1/4 by 2, but this is that die from the Scallop Contours dies I told you I used. Now I'm going to grab my thank you stamp and my Daffodil Delight ink pad. And one thing I forgot to say in my first alternative video, all the colors I'm using are not retiring. I want to make sure we had everybody had a chance to have these colors in the club. I didn't want somebody to say, oh, I don't have that, and it be gone already, because the retiring inks tend to sell out a lot really quick. So I'm going to put this in the right side towards the bottom. But all the way over to the right. I'm staying to the left. If you look at this really close, it cuts a little border around this label. It's pretty cool. Again, as close to the right as I can and near the bottom. So there's the thank you with the Daffodil Delight. And now I need to clean this stamp again because I'm going to be stamping this one in Petal Pink on the inside of the card. So I'm going to make sure I get that black ink off. I'm going to grab a piece of basic white that is 4 by 5 1/4. Grab my Petal Pink. Now, if you want to have a colored version like we're going to have on the front of the card, then you'll still want to stamp it in the Tuxedo Memento. But I wanted to make this a little easy, so I'm just going to stamp it because I think it's pretty just stamping it in a color also. So there it is in the Petal Pink. So I'll put this over to the side. And now we're going to need to color the pretty flowers from the front of the card. So let me move some stuff around here. I'm going to bring this back in. And I'm going to be using a blender pen. This is also something you need to have for this month's club. And if you look in that video description and click on the Stamp Club page link, you'll see everything that I suggest having that I use to make the cards, because the ink pads are not included in the club. Okay, so I'm going to take, since I've got my Daffodil Delight, I'm going to go ahead. I've already got an ink well here, but what I do, I squeeze it when it's closed to make that nice little pool of ink. And I'm going to color in the centers of my flowers with the Daffodil Delight. I'm going to start here in the middle because I kind of want the middle to be darker yellow, and then kind of go out. And it's going to get a little lighter because we're going to be using up some of that daffodil ink. And that kind of gives you that two-tone effect. And then I'm going to do the same thing with this one. Start in the middle and then kind of go out. There we go. So that is all the yellow. Oh, take that back. I forgot. We've got little centers on these little flowers down here. So I'm not going to worry about having lighter or darker here because these are just nice little bitty circles for the centers on these flowers. They're small flowers, so they don't need those big centers. Okay, so now I'm all done with the yellow, so I'm going to clean my blender pen off. See how I have a little yellow there, but now it's clear again. So now I can use a different color. I'm going to grab my Petal Pink, squeeze it to get my nice little ink pool there. And these two big flowers, I'm going to color in with my Petal Pink. Now, I am using Memento ink pad. It's alcohol-based, so when you use something that's water-based, like the blender pen, it can make this ink bleed. But what I'm going to do, it works just fine with the blender pen if you just make light strokes Don't go back and forth. That's going to definitely get the tuxedo black ink to bleed. But I'm just lightly going over here, and then once I get done, then I'm done, because I don't want to start smearing my stamped image underneath there. I'm going to pick up a little more ink, do where I want it darker first, and then go out so it gets a little bit lighter. And you just keep adding more ink as you want it. I want a little more pink here, I think. But that is how you color this in. And use a light touch. And I do suggest do not use water painters if you're going to use the Tuxedo Memento and the basic white cardstock, because it will mess up the cardstock and it will make that Memento pad bleed. Okay, I'm going to clean this off. And I decided to use fresh freesia on the small flowers. I am so happy that this end color is sticking around. I really like this purple color. It is so pretty. So all of these little flowers, I'm just going to color in with my fresh freesia. Okay, I'm all done with those flowers. Now I'm going to show you one thing. You might notice, it might be a little hard to see in the video, but there are little spaces that I didn't really color. They're kind of white. I'm fine with that. You don't have to clean them, color them in completely. I've even got a little white here. That gives a neat watercolor effect and also kind of gives highlights to the image. So don't worry if you've got little bitty white spots. You don't have to color that in perfectly. And now, last but not least, we're going to do all the leaves, and I'm using my soft sea foam. So once again, I'm going to squeeze it, get some ink there in my the bottom of the ink pad, and start coloring, going to the dark first and then going out to the lighter part areas. Okay, now I've got the whole image done. I love the stamp sets that make you look like an artist. Love that image. Okay, now I'm all done with the stamping. Yes, all done with the stamping, so I'm going to get my die cutting machine out. Okay, since all I am die cutting is a smaller image that will fit through my mini Stampin' Cut emboss machine, that's what I'm using. I already did the embossing for the cards, so I don't need to have my big one out for the embossing folders. So I'm going to grab this image that I just colored in. Get this up here so you can see it a little better. I'm going to grab the die. Make sure it goes right inside the opening of the die. I get right in the middle. That's pretty good. Now I'm going to take, this is called Post-it tape. That's going to hold that die in place so it doesn't move on me. You can also use washi tape or Post-it notes. I would suggest either the Post-it tape or Post-it notes, but if you don't have any of those, go ahead and use washi tape. I'll just run this through. And that's all the die cutting we need to do. I want you to see how pretty this image is die cut. I am really going to miss this stamp set. There we go. So we're all done die cutting, so let's finish this card. Okay, I'm going to bring in my card base. This is a 5.5 by 8.5 piece of Daffodil Delight. I'm going to line those corners up. That's how I know I'm going to get it folded in half, if I line those corners up. There we go. So that's ready to go. I'm going to grab a piece of Petal Pink. This is a 5 1/4 by 4 inch piece, and this was already embossed with that Pretty Flowers embossing folder. Isn't that neat? It was really hard to see what it looked like looking at the folder, but that's what it looks like when you actually emboss. So this, like, remember, this embossing folder is retiring, so you want to get that as soon as possible before it sells out. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put this down for right now. I'm going to grab a piece of that Vellum Basics Specialty SP. This is a 4 1/4 by 3 inch piece, and I'm going to put it right here in the center. My thank you die cut here needed a little something. I didn't want it just right there on the pink, but I didn't want to cover up that pink too much. So I like with the vellum, you're able to still see the pink behind it. So I'm going to be putting this over kind of the center. So I'm going to turn this over, and I'm only going to put adhesive, like about 3 strips here in the center part of it, because that way I know it's not going to be showing up. So this is the polka dot design in the set. Just put that right there in the middle. Then I'm going to grab the thank you, and I'm going to put some adhesive on it, but like I said, remember that border, how it's kind of apart from the actual rectangle here in the center? I'm going to make sure I only put adhesive on the inner part of this rectangle, because I don't want to have any sticky adhesive along those openings. And then this is going to go kind of over to the right a little bit, but centered up and down. It's real close to the middle, just over just a little bit. Okay. And then I'm going to take my flower image here, and I'm also going to take, almost forgot about this pretty die cut. This was die cut with the, oh, I forgot the name of it. Delicate Detail, or Dainty Detail. There we go. And this is the die that I used. So since this is not a stamped image, this will be die cut for everybody that's in the club for them. So this is out of a 5 by 2 1/4 inch piece of soft sea foam. I'm going to grab my silicone craft mat. This is one of the basics. I always think that you need. So this is part of the $25 bonus, the first one you get if you stay in for full 6 months. I'm going to grab my multi-purpose glue. And I'm not going to put any here on the end leaves or the bottom ones here. That way I have something to hold on to when I go to turn it over. I hate getting glue all over my fingers because I end up sticking to everything. So I'm just putting very little glue on all of these leaves. If you skip a couple, that's fine. It's going to, if you just get most of them, that's going to be just fine. It'll stick with no problem. I'm not going to bother about putting on those narrow lines. Now I can hold on to the top here without worrying about getting glue on my hands. So I'm going to bring this pink one back in. And I kind of liked it going on the greeting rectangle just a little bit. And then hold these down. You need to put pressure on it because that makes it so the glue can soak in. It's going to work a lot better if you hold it down for a few seconds. Okay, so now we've got that on there. I'm going to bring in the stamped image. I'm going to turn this over. Actually, I don't need the silicone mat anymore, so get that out of the way. I'm going to put dimensionals here on the back. Oh, those are glue dots. Let's get the dimensionals out. I'm going to put one there, here, and one here. And that's probably good enough. Actually, well, you know what? I'll go ahead and put one right here, making sure I don't have any hanging over the edges because I don't want to see that dimensional from the front. And I'm going to take the paper backing off. I thought I might need a little something more to hold up that stem at the bottom. Scoop those paper backings off. Oop, that one didn't come off. And then I'm going to put this kind of at an angle. I don't want to cover up my thank you. I also want to be able to see these leaves. That looks pretty good. Okay, so now I've got that on. Now I'm going to go ahead and put this on the card base. Normally I would have put this on the card base before I put that flower on, but that's okay. And you can still put something on even though you've got something on with dimensionals on there. So I'm going to go ahead and put this on my card base, making sure the fold is on top. Don't want to put it on upside down. There we go. Now the front is almost done. I want to go ahead and get my inside piece on quick though. So here's that piece. Oh my goodness. Don't do what I did. Thankfully, there are 2 sides to cardstock. Let me bring this back in. I am so used to doing portrait cards. I want it to go this way. So let's fix that. Grab this one again, use petal pink. And then I will just stamp this. I knew that didn't look right when I did it. Then we'll stamp this one here. Now that's the way it should look. Good thing we have 2 sides to cardstock or I'd be in trouble. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put this on the inside of the card. Once it's glued down, you're not going to see the boo-boo I made anymore. There we go. So there's the inside of the card. Now we're not done. We need to put on those brushed brass butterflies. I'm going to grab this big one here, see if I can get a hold of it. And I decided to put one right up here in the top right corner of the greeting. And I'm going to do a couple little ones again. This one I'm going to put on the vellum. And I think I'm going to put this one in this corner down here on this vellum. There we go. So that is my my second alternative card. So I hope you enjoyed that. Now you're going to need to hurry if you want to be part of my club for this month that does the Dainty Details bundle. You have until April 15th to subscribe and just click on that Stamp Club Stamp Club page link in the video description. And there you'll find the link to subscribe. And there's also a link to the add-on form that you need to fill out if you're wanting to add on the Dainty Detail stamp set or the bundle. So I hope you enjoyed today's card. And if you want to stamp along with me again, make sure you subscribe to my channel by clicking the subscribe button below. And then when you see that bell icon, click on it and then select all. That way YouTube will notify you every time I upload a video. Now, if you live in the United States and do not have a demonstrator of your own, I would love to be yours. And I would be happy to send out the new catalog out to you. Just click the contact me link in the video description and send me your mailing address. And I'll get these mailed out to you right away. Now, if you already have a demonstrator, make sure you contact her to get your catalog. And if you join my club, you'll get a catalog also. Everybody in my club gets a new catalog when it comes out. Okay, well, that is it. Let me show you the card one more time. Thank you again for watching my video. I really appreciate it. And I love interacting with you. Please comment below. Let me know what you think of the card. If you have any questions, I'd love to hear from you. And please like my video too if you liked it. I really appreciate it. See you in the next video, guys. Bye.